And welcome in to another episode of Off Script. My name is Zak Herbstreit, and today we're going to be talking about a little Miami football. But before we get into it today, if you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot, so I appreciate you guys. But Miami football, the question of the day today, is Miami a playoff lock for 2026? Let's get into it here. Honestly, after looking at their schedule, you can't help but think, like, hey, absolutely. Like, hey, video over. We're good. Hey, we're good over here. We're good. But, you know, let's kind of dive deep into this, and let's take a little look at the schedule as well and the hard games. And then I also have some questions I want to ask, just rhetorical, and also I'm going to talk about them. And I want to hear from you guys as well. But first off, looking at the schedule, like I said, easy schedule. Really the only hard games here at Notre Dame, and then I'd throw out Pitt just because how they were last year, probably going to be a little bit more of a veteran team this year, so could be a difficult game there. And then under my potentially hard games are at Clemson, depending on if they're good with a new quarterback, if they finally have an offense. Also defensively, like, it just wasn't there last year for them, so can Clemson kind of put it all together? And then home versus Virginia Tech. New hire with James Franklin. He's bringing in a ton of transfers. A lot of hype around that program. So that could potentially be a hard game as well. But the main one that everyone's talking about is the Notre Dame game, and that's the must-win. That's basically what put you in the playoff last year. And going on to my questions, though, will this rigorous ACC schedule, affect them in the playoffs versus real competition? And I can already hear all the comment sections already saying, Zach, you have no idea what you're talking about. Zach, we literally did this last year against the same schedule, and we still ran through A&M. We still ran through Ohio State, ran through Ole Miss, and gave Indiana a really good game in the national championship. So why is this even a question? And that's a fair point, and I agree with that to an extent. But all I'm saying is this. I think from 2025 to 2026, it's a completely different identity as a team. So basically, 2025, I felt like it was super defensive focused, where your defensive line was kind of the heart and soul of the team with Ruben Bain, with Messidor. Whenever they were on the field, it was, a spectacle to watch. You were just like, oh my Lord, like, these guys are incredible. So replacing that just alone is going to be extremely difficult for Miami. And then also I want to add the addition of a new quarterback in Darian Mensah, who, in my opinion, I feel like is getting a little bit too much hype right now. Coming in from Duke, who kind of, Miami, Duke, same caliber level of play in the ACC, so he'll do well in the regular season. But when he gets to that postseason against these SEC teams, against these Big Ten teams, how is he going to kind of match up against that? It was different with Carson Beck because being at Georgia, he's played against that kind of talent before, so he knows what to expect. But with Mensah, it'll be interesting to see. That's my first question. My second question here: is this schedule a blessing or a curse in the eyes of the committee? And what I think makes this question pretty interesting, too, is when looking at the schedule, obviously the blessing is it's not incredibly taxing on this Miami team, and I agree with that. I think it is true. It's an ACC schedule, like I said, so it's not going to be crazy hard for Miami. But when looking at the curse, I think it is a little bit of a curse because there's no room for error for this Miami team. You can't lose to these inferior opponents, because if that happens, then it really kind of hinders your opportunity to go to the playoff. And especially if you lose that Notre Dame game, then you're like, hey, like, we don't really have a resume. Like, hey, we kind of gotta, we can't really make mistakes right now. We have to win, just continuously win. But that's my take on this. But Miami fans, let me know what you guys think about those questions. Let me know what you guys think of this upcoming season. Players coming in, I want to hear from you guys. But like I said, if you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Helps me out a lot, so I appreciate you guys, but I'll see you guys soon.